Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Random Live number 87. It's Water Balloon Day. I think probably not one person knew that. First Friday in August, Water Balloon Day. They probably made it that day because it's too damn hot. I'll read the history of it here in a second. Maybe he'll tell us something. So it's August 5th, 2022. Bat Mom was first here, it looks like. Welcome, Mr. Lee, Ida Bustamante, Patty Troy, Angel Nolan. Welcome to you all. Was just over watching Pat Squatch Talk over on Kenny Biddle channel. I guess he's a skeptical person. Pat hasn't been having all his live streams lately, so it sounds like it has to do with not being able to get the guests that he needs. So I don't know. If anybody knows any potential ideas, shoot it his way. Bat Mom says, "Why is there no help mom clean the house day?" There probably is, for all we know. Chessboard's here saying hello to everybody there. Mr. Lee says Pat did good. Pat did good. Is Raptor Crazy here? Yeah, I see Raptor Crazy. There's Raptor Crazy. Welcome. Yeah, it's pretty good. Kenny Bidell, man. The government he said he doesn't believe in UFOs. The government's admitted UFOs are real. Masses of people have all witnessed them simultaneously in the sky. There are UFOs in the damn sky, man. I've seen one. Not a good sighting, but I saw one. I can't tell you what. I can't describe the object beyond point of light, but it was definitely falls under UFO because I don't know what the fuck that was. So, gotta find it then. Need help with the house cleaning, huh? Raptor says hello. Hello to everybody. Welcome. Mark Dodman's here. He says, "Good day. Hope all is well." Can't believe the government. Well, fuck the government. I mean, I still think the government's being dishonest about the issue. I think that they just finally had no choice but to admit they're real because everybody can. If you look in the sky enough, you're probably going to see one. I think a lot of people don't see them because they're always looking down. They never look up. It's like that guy in Tremors was trying to tell old girl. He's like, he's like, you never have time to look up. There's a big fucking sky full of amazing sights, really, but people take it for granted. They don't. Get your telescope out, or even just binoculars. Look at the damn moon. If you look at the moon, pretty much with binoculars, you look at that thing long enough, you're gonna have a hard time believing this flat Earth bullshit about it being a ball of plasma. It's clearly a solid object. It's got craters in it, for fuck's sake. Oh shit. But yeah, they're definitely real. What the fuck they are, that's where we don't really know. But I just can't. Yeah, that dude, he's a little too skeptical. If he's sitting there saying I don't believe in UFOs, dude, UFOs are pretty much a proven fact at this point. Now, what they are, that's a different story. So I don't know if that's where his hang-ups at. Mr. Lee says, I don't think I will be subscribing to Kenny Bottle Show. No, I don't know. I haven't looked at his channel too closely, but the brief glance I had, I didn't get the feeling that he was 100% paranormal. Is he? Is he 100% paranormal show? I mean, I'll take a closer look later, but so if he is, and he has a regularly scheduled live stream, then I'll be sticking that on the guide. Um, Nikki's here. Welcome. Everybody's saying hello to her. It's time. Hope you're well. Patty says, I never have time to look up. Have you seen the movie Tremors 2? There's a scene in Tremors 2 that was written for you. Was it Tremors 2? No, not Tremors 2. Tremors 3. It was Tremors 3. I got that wrong. Tremors 3. It's when it's was it Back to Perfection? You know, it's with Burt Gummer's the main character now, which really maybe he should have been from the beginning because he's been the one that's really stolen the show. They're back in perfection, and the remember the old man that run the general store there, the gas station. He had died in the first movie. I think this is his niece that runs the store now, and she's the one that the desert Jack he calls himself because he's giving desert tours so people can see graboids. And Desert Jack's telling her, about the clouds. He's trying to get her to go for a ride with him. He's basically asking her kind of on a date, and she's being. I don't know if they meant for her to be not quite catching on, or she's not quite sure about this motherfucker. This dude is trying to get me to go on a Jeep ride and look at fucking clouds. What the fuck? So, Mr. Lee says, I've seen UFOs with my own eyes. Yeah, and you sent me a couple pictures. See, we know, like, we've seen them. Lots of people have seen them. A bunch of people see the same ones. So this guy's being a little overly skeptic if he's rejecting UFOs because of all that, and the government admits them that they're real. So yeah, the original one was definitely the best. These more recent ones have just gotten stupid. I did kind of like some elements of the series, though. I really like the idea of continuing the story of El Blanco, and it's too bad they couldn't have had developed more of a story of a relationship of the El Blanco coming to understand that the humans were his friends. But they did. He got sick, and then somebody made him sick, and then they cured him. They gave him medicine. Fat comic book guy, welcome to the chat. He says, "What's this all about?" This is just a random live stream. I talk about whatever subjects. Some of it's paranormal. Some of it's movies, science fiction primarily, current events, news, uh, politics, science, lots of stuff. And then on Saturday, so tomorrow night, I do a live stream that's strictly about paranormal subject matter called LOCKBEARD PHENOMENA. So welcome, and then let's see, you got a little Simpsons icon there. Donald here. Actually, he likes me to play this clip because he says this clip embodies his life, I guess. Donald said, I like Kenny Biddle. He's a skeptic just like I'm becoming. I got triggered last night. Tired of the Bigfoot sauce getting smeared on everything. Yeah. People, like I mentioned, the diplomacy, diplomacy, I think is called for in some cases. Obviously, I'm not very diplomatic with people like goddamn Vault of Nightmares who can fuck all the way off. Although he's getting better. He's getting better, like with that last video where he mentioned us. He managed to get through the whole video and not make one single death threat towards us. I mean, I'm really getting this boy raised up right.
I'm his father. He comes to me for advices.
So, but with other people, like, I think we really should be, try not to go for the jugular. Try not to go for the jugular because it's really not necessary. It's not going to accomplish anything good. It's better to handle it delicately. Because it's not malicious act on their part, right? With someone like Vault or Dark Sewage, any of those yahoos, there's a malicious act going on there. They are actively trying to, lie to people. Those are the ones I want to, so that's the battles I want to pick. I don't want to go after, like, if someone goes out in the woods, they got Bigfoot on the head and the mind, and their mind starts playing tricks on them. I want to tell them, say, look, you need to consider. I'm not going to go for the jugular on them, though. I'm not going to, I'm not going to attack them. It's just, but they, someone should tell them, so, hey, you could be mistaken about what you saw. And then, of course, some of them are still going to say, oh, I know what I saw, and get all pissed off anyway. So, but at least you could say you weren't, like, attacking them or trying to be mean about it. You tried to be nice about it. Say, look, you could have been mistaken. You could have been mistaken. And if you're not willing to admit that, you're going to be mistaken about a lot of things. Probably you're going to, if you can't go out into that situation without getting yourself primed to see what you kind of want to see, then you probably need to step away. Because you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it objectively and logically, and you need to step away. Damn, the chat just took off, didn't it? That comic book guy says he's joined the channel. Thank you. Raptor says Kenny's channel is not too bad. He's a skeptic on a lot of things. He's trying to find out what is real and what isn't. Green Paws, welcome. It says Trimmers. It's all we need to know about society. Come at me. Yeah, you could be very right there. Trimmers, I mean, it was kind of goofy in some ways, but it was a pretty cool movie. It was just a pretty cool movie. Timmy Boy's here. What is going on, Timmy Boy?
Level out, come on.
Got you good. Oh, look at here. Greetings from South Carolina. You know, I got lots of channels. I don't know how many channels you got. You got a lot of channels, man. You got a lot of channels. Um, welcome. Jen says, Timmyville, hello to everybody. Hello to Jen. Welcome to the chat. Just word says, green pause. Tremors was a good start and Idiocy polished it off. Yeah, it just started getting wild. Like they had it because I don't mind the idea of the metamorphosis, but then they had to come up with a new stage for the third movie. They, there were some problems. They needed to talk. The writers needed to talk to like a real biologist or someone that has some. I mean, I'm not going to call myself a real biologist, but I studied quite a bit of biology in college, so. Um, I would have tweaked some things because the start was really awesome. That thing resembled very well a lot of real life kind of grub worms type thing. They ended up calling it a reptile though, and I I guess you can. I guess there's no reason why it really can't be a reptile. I just think it would have been better if they'd stuck with an insect type of evolutionary origin. And there's some other things with how old it was, and anyway. It was the metamorphosis into 3 or 4 individuals from one. That's a weird development. Not that they couldn't possibly develop in biology, but but by doing that, I feel like they missed out on some story elements that could have been really cool. They really should have not done. And then of course they started doing the Cold Day in Hell and all that stuff, and it just got insane. They had a really good character with Burt Gummer, and the initial giant grub. Um, but they fouled it up. They fouled it up. If you haven't seen the series though, check out the series. It has some goofiness and shenanigans in it, but it's also I like some parts of it. Paranormal Saturday Night. What's the topic tomorrow? I haven't really settled on that yet. Um, I had a moment where I kind of wanted to jump on a certain channel a little bit, but I think I'm gonna stand down. I think I'm gonna stand down on it for now, and just kind of watch and see how deep he buries himself. But I mean, I don't. Is there something in particular you think we should address? Because I'm not really settled on anything in particular. That comic book guy says I just created this new Just Comics channel. Green Paul says, just where I yawn at the absurd now. Mr. Lee says, Dan, I won't be subscribing. You said that to Pat earlier. What's up with that, Mr. Lee? You gotta subscribe. You got to subscribe. Donald says, Lockbeard, this one tried going for my jugular last night over a simple comment. Who was I there? Was that on Mogs? Maybe I should check it out again, and because I don't recall. I mean, what was I? Yeah, last night would have been Mogs show. I don't recall. I don't think I fell asleep during the show. That happens to me sometimes, though. Um, man, you do what you want to do. You do what you want to do. I just kind of think, well, you heard what I thought. I think sometimes standing down might be better than it might be better just kind of sit on something for a little bit, and then wait for the right time if you really want to tackle it. Raptor Crazy says, I've been saying too much Bigfoot on the brain. Now you guys are talking about it too. What up? Well, that's people do. A lot of people do. They got too much Bigfoot on the brain. Should, but you won't. Rex Hands here. Welcome. Dan says, because I'm here. Donald says, tree leans between two observable roads. Doesn't look like Bigfoot activity to me, but I guess I'm a stupid fuck. Well, you must be talking about something. Either you're talking about a live stream I wasn't at, or I was that tired and I don't fucking remember. But yeah, no one. Look, everybody, listen. Absolutely no one, not one person out there has proven anything in regards to this structure shit. Nothing. Trees fall in the woods. They lean up against each other. Sometimes the wind blows them. Sometimes they uproot themselves. There's all kinds of reasons why these trees. If you're out in the woods a lot, you kind of get a feel for what, and I just feel like a lot of these people that are pushing structures, there's a lot of people out there, they've just gotten convinced about structures, but they've gotten convinced by this group of people over here that's pushing the structures narrative because it's easy. It's real easy because you can go out in the woods and you can see structure. Look, there's a structure. There's a structure. There's an A. There's a cross. Look at this shit. Yeah, it's everywhere. And so now they got all kinds of content. They can just sit there and talk about structures all night long, and it's all bullshit. All of it. All bullshit. No one has proven dick about structures. So stop. Just step back. Look, it might. They might make some structures, but no one's proven dick. They haven't. They haven't proven shit. And what we need to do is get some kind of evidence that they do this, and no one's got it. No one's convinced me anyway. And look, we need people out there that aren't trying to fool you with some bullshit. Look, this damn fan better start its ass back up. Got some weird electrical shit going on here. Light just turned on bright. All right, screw you. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I don't know. We got some fluctuations going on here. I pissed off the spirits or some shit. The Sasquatch over in that tree line is doing this shit. All right, anyway. Yeah, we need people out there that don't got an agenda to just push whatever their narrative is, whatever the truth is, I'll take it. But there's got to be evidence for it. There has to be evidence. This tree structure shit, there is no goddamn evidence. Raptor says, oh, hello to somebody. Crackheads, Mr. Lee says. Dan is comic. Yeah, it looks like it. Mr. Hugh is here. Welcome, Mr. Hugh. Raptor says, "Hello, Ida. You said something earlier. I apologize. Did you piss off Ida?" Trying to catch up in chat here, so I'm skipping a lot. There's a lot of hellos. Green Paul says that worm was no reptile. Hollywood sucks worms. Yeah, I mean, well, this shit happens all the time, right? They want to write a movie, but these writers don't know anything. They're just applying for, a formula. And here lately, it's been, whatever you write, be sure and insert all kinds of goddamn identity politics, agenda, and demonization of white people wherever you can, and straight people and men. They're all evil. Find a way to say they're all evil somehow, and we will approve your movie, even if the story sucks complete ass. And every single one of them, the story sucks complete ass. I just watched Thor: Love and Thunder. Holy shit, dude. I had to see it. It was a goddamn train wreck. I had to get, people were talking about it online. I've seen lots of clips. I've seen some spoiler reviews. And I'm like, you know what? I just gotta go. I gotta go look at the train wreck. And goddamn, was it a train wreck. This, they really started fucking up the whole Thor story back when they started trying to take it extreme comedy with his ass and just everything they can't. Jesus Christ. There's a reason why this movie's flopping. It's flopping like a fish. I mean, it just is. Again, I don't got anything against people, their sexual orientation or any of that stuff, but that's one of the agendas they're trying to push. So they turn everybody's going to be gay, bisexual, something. Everybody. And because they're pushing an agenda, I'm like, look, you guys, you're just always talking about representation. There's always been representation. It's just that you're not happy that it was probably always roughly equivalent to, percentage wise to what the population is. No, you guys want everybody to be gay in the movies. I mean, Thor had a gay moment. Korg is gay. Valkyrie is gay. I mean, there's half the people in the damn movie is gay. Okay, whatever. I mean, it really contributed precisely dick to the story. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm just saying I see what you're doing. I understand what you're doing. You're sacrificing a story to shove your agenda in there, and for whatever reason, it's like we don't give a shit. Like but they don't like that we don't give a shit. They want us to be all worshiping at the altar of it or something. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I don't think that I really ever have. Okay, so that person's gay, whatever. It don't matter. It's their business. It's how they are, whatever, right? Why do I have to make a freaking case about it? Why do I have to think about it 24/7? Why does it have to be in every goddamn movie and shoved down my throat? Why? I'm sure they got excuses for why, but they're ruining the movies because no one gives a shit. Like the entire thing, there was no reason for Thor to even be with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Because it was this whole thing where he gets on there and he goes with them. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're going to have this is going to be a whole story. And really nothing happened. Like he's immediately jumping off the ship at the beginning of this movie. There was no point to have any of that scene in there. It contributed nothing to the goddamn story. Like they tried to make it where there was a point where he repeated something to Jane that Star-Lord said to him, and it was fucking stupid. You could have just completely, man, these writers suck ass. You guys, Hollywood, you fucks can't write for shit. You're hacks. You can't do shit. Hollywood, you want to write some good shit, you need to talk to some, people out here that are the ones that are telling you can't write for shit. That movie was a complete dumpster fire. You deserve every bit of no profit that comes out of this, and they might get some. I don't know. I'm sure the government just gives them money because, here's some money. What a dumpster fire! It was ridiculous. Mr. Lee says gold. What about the gold, Mr. Lee? What about the gold? Wait to fight another day, says Troy. Yeah. Oh, did he have an encounter with her? Well, she's joined the bullshit side of Bigfoot, man. You can't look. You can't. There's no point. There is no point in having a discussion with her. She jumped ship off of a kind of neutral ground with Mogs and went over to the obvious bullshit side of Bigfoot over at Bigfoot Odyssey. Bullshit Odyssey. Now, like I said, Carrie has taken my dietary advice, and he said on his show that he's gone carnivore and that he feels better than he's ever felt. You're welcome, Carrie. Glad you're watching my show. Glad you're paying attention. And since now that I was completely 100% right about that humans are designed to be 100% carnivore, or mostly, almost 100%. Now that I'm right about that, I'm right about probably a lot more stuff. So maybe you should pay more attention to what I'm saying. But for the moment, like Vault of Nightmares. Well, where's the clip? There we go.
I'm his father. He comes to me for advices.
Yep. Adopted, obviously adopted. Raptor says, Lockbeard, wait a minute. What channel are you talking about? You're going to have to, I'm not sure. I mean, I think I'm a little bit behind in the chat, so I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. I'm going to have to skip a lot of shit. You shall curse this moment. No, I won't curse it. Glyphs are bullshit too, says Nikki. Yeah. Jay Fritz. Is Jay Fritz here? I'm skipping a lot. There he is. Yeah, there's Jay. I'm skipping a lot, so I might miss some people. Because I'm way behind in chat. Jay Fritz says, howdy, lock beardos and lady locks. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. Green Paul says, Bigfoot is yesterday. Interdimensional like creatures is where it's at. Come at me. Oh, shit. Could be science. Can't say for sure. At this point, I think it's a ridiculous. It's an extraordinary claim. It's an extraordinary claim. Because, like, if you're out in the woods enough, sooner or later, hopefully, you have a chance to see a tree come down, or if you're cutting down a tree, and like cut down a big dead tree, for example, and watch, like, just watch. Some crazy shit happens when the limbs start snapping and flying, and this one hits that tree and springs back, and all there's some crazy shit happens. Squirrels start flying around. No pissed off interdimensional light creatures. Questions the girls chat. Nerves to call people beardos. Yeah, Jay can call anybody whatever he wants. Raptor says, I've been saying for years tree structures are not Bigfoot for 10 years, and I've been called a troll and everything else. No proof. Same thing with Snow White, Bigfoot, and Bigfoot Odyssey. Yeah. Just where it says J Fritz, when we get old, who gives a shit? You talking about Thor: Love and Thunder? Yeah, it was complete dumpster fire. Absolute shit. There were a few bits in there that I thought were kind of cool, but you know, but it was shit. It was absolute shit. Donald says, Lockbeard, she had evidence the leaners weren't from there. They were moved there. I bet more than a Bigfoot did it. Her husband did it, so she had something to talk about on her little walks. Yeah, she could be getting hoaxed, or she could be doing the hoaxing. It could be wind. When, like I said, when a big tree goes down and like a branch hits, it snaps off the tree, it springs off this tree. A chunk of branch can go flying pretty far. There's a lot of fucking crazy forces, and anything can happen. That's why when you're cutting down a tree, stand way the fuck back. Don't don't take chances and stand too close. Jay says, I'm in heaven drinking a supersized chocolate shake at 10:30 at night. Oh no, Jay, don't do it. Don't do it. Man, if I did that, I would be passing out. My blood sugar will do this little roller coaster ride, and it'll dunk down, get down to, well, the lowest measurement I've seen is 53. And at that point, you're kind of, temporarily brain dead. Your brain cannot function like that. How I was functioning, I don't fucking know. Mr. Lee says, Mr. Hugh, my girlfriend, obsessed with Thor and all the Marvel rubbish. Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could go back and like take it and say, look, we're scrapping everything after. I mean, really, an entire new rewrite would need to be done. But I like some of the stuff they did. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., I don't think he could have had a more perfect casting for Tony Stark. I really don't. I don't. Ruffalo and what's his nuts before him. I don't think those were good castings for Banner. But this most recent Spider-Man, good. I've liked him. Not Toby Maguire. Fuck Toby Maguire. And then that other dude, Schnozzle, whose name I can't even remember. Anyway, but if you can't get a full rewrite, I mean, that'd be a huge tall order. So, but it'd be nice to cut off everything after Infinity War. Also, cut off Black Panther, probably. Yeah, cut off Black Panther. Fuck Black Panther, and Miss Marvel or whatever that fucking shit, and then try again for the next phase because they fucked that all up. They fucked shit up so bad. Thank you, Daily Dan. Actually says, I mean, the hammer thing's good. I could use one of those, but movie is rubbish. Yeah, I had I don't know, I jotted down some stuff having to do with Mjolnir, and they are doing some degree of assigning a personality to Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, which I would definitely support that because I kind of had this storyline going in my head having to do with Vision, and I was trying to think. You gotta give stuff clever names, so at least temporarily for my brainstorming, it was the forefathers of Mjolnir Vision, and I might as well throw out because I'm never going to get to make movies, right? And I certainly ain't going to get to take over the MCU and then fix it. But there was a story about how they were trying to talk about the forefathers of vision, and of course you hear that, and it's a play on words, that there was actually four fathers of vision, and Mjolnir was one of them. Mjolnir was one of them. Jay says, Ida, how you doing, beautiful lady? I don't know exactly what you agree with, but I'm glad you do. Did I see lovely Sandra? I don't. Did Sandra come in? I might have missed her if she did. Green Paul says, Lockbeard, you should see how they treat ones with green paws who don't announce their pronouns. Holy crap. Like, leave your green paws off my gender. Yeah. Well, did you see that shit where fucking Kamala Harris sitting there and she's like, my pronouns are this and I'm wearing a blue suit? What? Why are you announcing that you have a blue suit? And this chick over here, she announces her pronouns and I'm wearing a pink dress. What in the fuck are we looking at here? These people have lost their damn mind. I don't care what your pronoun is. The reality is, I'm going to call you whatever the fuck I feel like, just because, especially, I mean, if you piss me off, hey, if you don't piss me off and you're nice and I kind of catch wind that, you like to be called whatever, then fine. I but if you expect people to bend over backwards and strain the fuck out of themselves to figure out what you want to be called and all this, stuff, just chill. Don't get pissed off because someone calls you the wrong pronoun according to you. The fact is humans are geared to assign, to read, to look at a person and pick up visual cues as to one of two genders. That's the biology. That's undeniable. Goddamn fuck science. I'm sorry, and then address that person accordingly, according to what the visual cues tell them. It's like, is this male or female? And you're trying to fight people's biology at this point. It's like, just chill, just chill. Most of these people that you're attacking don't mean you any harm. We don't mean you any harm. It's so just relax. Stop being fucking uppity and getting all bent out of shape and offended by every goddamn thing. Just chill. Grasshopper's here. She sees no ping that was on. Yeah, better late than. Oh, I initiated the process like 30 seconds before start time. I barely knew I was doing this. Relax in a big comfy chair. It's a Jay, yeah. Yes, ma'am, I am indeed, says Jay. Jen says, enjoy your shake, Jay. Mr. Lee says to Grasshopper what he tells a lot of people. He says, I need to tell you, you missed everything. You haven't missed really anything. Craig Crypto Weirdo says Graz. Mr. Lee's Knucklehead says Jay. And Mr. Lee says Jay's a knucklehead, I guess. Speed poll is yours. Speedo. Mr. Lee, did you leave your Speedo there? Or is that your boyfriend Tom Cruise? Where they got to? Meredith's here. Welcome. She walked her dog, it looks like. Better your pull than your chair, Jay, says Jen. Mr. Hughes says Tyson Fury wife has a big crush on Thor. Mr. Lee, it's on YouTube. You be okay, Mr. Lee, with your girlfriend on that obsessed stuff. Take up the weights, Mr. Lee. Trying to speed through the chat, so funny look stakes in my chair, just saying. Mr. Lee says, Jay, I told Tom Cruise not to sit in your chair, but he wouldn't listen. Wouldn't listen. Too many names, yeah. Meredith, too many names. Donald says, Mr. Lee, I remote viewed you and Tom spooning on Jay's chair. Apparently he did, Mr. Lee. Meredith says, first time today I wore a bikini and my lovely daughter put it on Facebook. All my male friends said, that's not you, Meredith. I told them to look at my scar on my arm and get in line and take a number. Damn. Take a number, huh? Jay says, folks, another beautiful view was seeing Albuquerque going east at night. Come around a curve and down in valley, all lights is gorgeous. Meredith says, this bank vault is locked and it's not getting open for them. If you know what I mean. They know that I still got it. Mr. Lee says, you see something in Sasquatch about Henderson commentary? That was good. Henderson commentary? I guess I must have missed that. Do you have an upload? Greenpaw says VP Harris was speaking to blind people when she said what color dress she was wearing. Chill, Lockbeard, chill. Yeah. Well, okay. I'll give you the dress, but the pronouns, I'm still no. No. And it's just that, okay, I'm going to say it. Why in the fuck do the blind people give a shit what color her dress is? They can't fucking see, Kamala. They can't fucking see. Why are you reminding them that they can't fucking see, you dumb fucking bitch? Okay, I fucking did it. It don't fucking matter. They live in a world where there is no fucking blue suit. Who gives a fuck? I think they probably don't give a fuck. In fact, if we polled some blind people, they'd all be pissed off. They're like, why is this bitch telling me what color dress there is? I can't fucking see her dress. I don't give a fuck what color her dress is. Does it affect how she does her fucking job? No. Just fucking say something that's smart, you stupid bitch. Stop sucking your way through up the ladder of success and do something that makes goddamn sense. All right, fuck. All right. Yeah, if there's any blind people out there, let me know what you think. I'm just thinking, if I was blind, I'd be like, fuck you, bitch. I don't care what fucking color your blue dress is. I don't fucking care. And your pronoun, you know what? I got bigger problems than worrying about your goddamn pronouns. I can't fucking see. You dumb fucking bitch. Son of a bitch. Oh. All right. That went too far. Meredith says, Donald, yes, they know me since a grade school, and not one of them have had a bite of this cupcake. Get a Thor helmet, 3PO. Green Paws from America. It's a good girl. Mr. Lee pumped that chest up. And the Thor utility belt. Yeah. Well, you saw where tall ones, they were talking about his fanny pack. I put in comment somewhere because they were talking about what to call it, because you can't call it a fanny pack. I'm sorry. Lockbeard's not wearing a fanny pack. I don't care what you say. It's called a fanny pack. I'm not fucking wearing a fanny pack. But if you call it a Batman utility belt, then maybe we can talk. Utility belt, hey, that'll work. That'll work. But fanny pack, no. ain't happening. From America. Meredith says, I have 2 Facebook. Is find me a full name right there. Daily Dan blog. He's laughing at something. Patty says they are blind. Why do they care what color? There you go. So it's not just me. It's not just me that thought that was could be considered insensitive of her. Why would you? I don't know. It. Thank you, Patty. Mr. Lee says I would blind you with my good. Would you now? Yeah. It's fucking. That's the thing with these far left nut jobs. They'll say they're fighting they're fighting a fucking thing. They're fighting racism, right? But they end up being racist while claiming to fight racism. They'll end up being sexist while claiming to be fighting sexism. They fuck this up every damn time. It's like you guys are just so ass backwards. You can't. I'm amazed. If this is the way your whole life goes, you cannot sit you cannot ride in my vehicle. You because you're gonna sit on my seat, and you can't sit on my seat because when you took a shit, you were trying to wipe your ass, but you fucking failed. I guarantee you failed. You got shit all over your ass. All you far lefties got shitty ass. My logic could be flawed, but see me. Would be amazing. Wear a bikini in his pool. Mr. Lee says, Jay, no, that was Tom. We were trying to reenact a scene from Cocktail. Oh, shit. Raptor says, wow, I'm really gone on this blue dress thing. Is this in the movie or is this something else he's thought? That's our vice president. All right. Like look up the video, the vice president, gender pronouns, like you'll see. I mean, I don't know what's the biggest issue. Mentioning given their pronouns or telling the blind people what they're fucking wearing. I mean, what is this? One of those 900 numbers you call or something? Or you thought, what are you wearing? I get the blind people do not give a fuck what you're wearing. In fact, they're probably pissed at you for being insensitive to the blind. Mr. Lee says Raptor crazy Lockbeard talking about his ex French hairy girlfriend again. What the hell? She's only half French, Mr. Lee. Yeah, right nail on the head, my friend. I'm shy. Baby Ruths. Patty says, and about the trans people, I do not have to believe in their delusion, just my opinion. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to. They think the very some of them, a lot of those people, they don't want all this attention, right? And unfortunately, they're going to have to get in the middle of it to stop the other ones, the minority who are stirring this shit. And not just that, but there's people who aren't even trans who are out there trying to fight for a cause because they need a goddamn cause, right? Don't matter what it fucking is, as long as it's far left, and they'll just jump on anything as long as CNN or MSNBC tells them to jump on it. And so they are there are those. Their opinion is that you not believing and wholeheartedly supporting their identity is actually harmful to them. Like you're doing some kind of damage to them. You're because they've done all this weird shit, crap like microaggressions. Oh, you're using microaggressions. Oh my god, shut the fuck up, you pussies. You don't like someone talking about something you don't like, you can like go the fuck away, completely fuck off. Um, people are there's gonna be people that don't agree with you, so go, but they're just nuts. They're nuts. You ever see that PC principal on South Park? That's hilarious. He tears these people apart. Tells these because they did some of the microaggression stuff too, and the microaggressions, and then he's like physically attacking people. It's about right. It's about right. But it's worse than this. It's worse than this. There are some of them that believe that if you are asked out, to say, you say say you're straight and you're asked out by a gay person, if you say no, you're literally, according to them, discriminating against that person. It's the ridiculousness just goes too far, and the result's going to be that you're gonna piss people off, and you're stretching this rubber band. You're pissing people off, and pretty soon it's going to snap. And when it snaps, you're going to end up back at a place where you don't want to be. These people don't want to be. You got it pretty good. So stop pushing, because you're going to push people until they snap, and then the next thing you know, bad things going to happen. And we don't want bad things to happen, but there's a bunch of people out there that have way less self-control than me, and they're going to do bad things when they snap. They're going to do bad things, and I'm sorry, I tried to warn you. Stop fucking pushing people. You don't have to push people to the goddamn brink, and but they just won't stop. Did a deep clean before you left, Mr. Lee. Some bites out of them. Green Paul says announcing the color of the dress you are wearing to blind people is schizophrenic. I mean, if you sit on those seats, you are going to get monkeypox, right? Well, maybe. Kamala Harris could be patient zero. The reason why we have a monkeypox epidemic is because she passed it on to every cock she sucked. Excuse my French. Raptor says, hello, Mr. Lee. I guess so. I don't know. There's Tom Cruise. Welcome. Chessboard says, Jay Fritz, I read today scientists found what causes aging, and I stopped reading. What did you read? Because is there some, because there's, aging is a complex process, and there's multiple things going on there. So there's not like one cause. One of the primary causes is telomere erosion, but they've known that for a long time. So are you talking about something new that they've figured out? Because that'd be cool. That would be cool. But it seems that telomere erosion is the main player in that. But yeah, turn TV off. Green Paul says, I fight for Lockbeard. I will be damned if he is sitting on the far left of that van seat. I'm not. Danny Stanton. He's got many accounts. Patty Troy says, one of my best friends is trans. He understands that people don't always get it. He's cool as fuck. Yeah. I've known a lot of gay people in the past, and I don't think I've known one of them that acts like these loons you see online and on TV. Some of them are actually kind of shy about it, very embarrassed for people to know in some cases. So I've been fortunate not to run into a real psycho. Although I would never be a friend with that person, right? I would be a friend. Um, all of my friends that have been gay did not act like a fucking far left loon, and so so we were cool. Alter ego here. Jay Fritz, yeah, douchebag. Green Paul says, I fight for Lockbeard doesn't sit on the front. Because that's where the steering wheel might be. Yeah, Americans, we drive on the wrong. Our steering wheel is on the wrong side of the vehicle, and we drive on the wrong side of the road, according to Mr. Lee. Yeah, monkeypox. Kamala Harris, patient zero. People aren't going to. There's going to be a very tiny number of people that are going to take that monkeypox shit seriously after the fraud that the other thing they did. And again, I once again, we're 2.5 years into this bitch, and I say, hey, anybody out there, prove that thing actually exists, because I don't see that there was actually a germ. The evidence in there. There certainly was no goddamn pandemic. I mean, life is going on like normal. Occasionally, I see some yahoo wearing a goddamn mask. I'm like, do you look around? Everyone's living their life like normal. The people serving your food at all the restaurants, they don't have masks on. Nobody has a goddamn mask on around here because there is no goddamn germ. They didn't there. They showed us video of people dead in the street. That didn't fucking happen. Didn't happen at all. There has been no pandemic. That's just a goddamn fact. They changed the definition of pandemic so they could say, oh, I got a pandemic. Oh my God. Everybody freak out. Everybody hide in your houses. Don't get any sun and don't make any vitamin D because that might help you fight disease. And we know that. That's why we're telling you to hide in your house so that you will get sick from other stuff because you're immune compromised. And we caused that by telling you to hide in your houses. And so maybe a few of those people will die when they get sick. And then we can point at that and say, see, people are dying. You caused that. You caused that with psychosomatic response. You convinced people they were going to get sick. And if you convince people they're going to get sick, there's going to be a small percentage that die. Well, yeah, that's good. We're going to throw that on the statistics and call it the C19 thing. And then, of course, the stress of the whole situation. You stressed everybody out. You stress out people. Yeah, they're going to get sick. And a small percentage of those people probably going to die. What they do? Throw that on the statistics too. Hell, there were even a few motorcycle accidents they threw in those statistics, and people just didn't fucking see what the hell was going on. The whole goddamn thing was a goddamn lie, and I challenge anyone to provide any actual goddamn proof that it exists. Don't tell me, oh, my doctor said, man, no. Your doctor was given a test and said, this is the test. It proves this. No, it fucking doesn't. Look into the test. Look closer. Doesn't prove shit. There's been no goddamn pandemic. It's bullshit. Are we still rolling? I'm sure YouTube seems to have not been so uppity about this kind of talk. In the past, they have been. So, people are getting mad because somebody died. I was like, hey, you shouldn't be. Don't get mad at me. You get mad at the people, the system, the psychological domestic terrorists that told you that your family member or your other loved one died from this because they died from something else and they lied about it. They fucking lied about it. That test does not prove they had that, and they never even proved that thing existed. The CDC said so. We haven't isolated the damn thing, but we're declaring a pandemic anyway because we think this thing is there. They were lying. They were so fucking lying. They perpetrated a goddamn hoax of epic proportions. Everything points to that, and half of America just seems oblivious to this fact. Scientology place, Mr. Lee, really? Meredith says, Lockbeard, the people in power have lost their minds and forgot about the common courtesy. They all need to just leave. All of them, the whole administration of the United States of America needs to go away. Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know how we do this peacefully. Like, if we can push for all elections, all of them. You have you can there's forget this writing in your protest. No, they don't give a fuck what your protest is. You need a requirement that on the ballot always 100% of the time without fail you have an option: no confidence, none of the above. You got your R, you got your D, and then you got answer C, none of the above. No confidence in these douche nozzles. They're all fucking bought and paid for. They're working together. They're not two parties. They are one. And they're all goddamn liars. They're all corrupt. They're all domestic terrorists, scum, and pieces of shit. And they got to go. And it needs to be required that if no confidence, if none of the above gets the majority of the vote, then those parties need to fuck off and go find a real candidate. Well, they'll never get in power again because they're never going to do it. They will never put a decent candidate up. When they do get one, like look what the Republican Party did in 2008 and 2016. They had a very, very good candidate, Ron Paul. If they put Ron Paul on the ticket, they would have been a landslide victory. Everyone in the middle, every constitutionalist, every libertarian, everybody, and half the goddamn Democrats that are kind of iffy on which party they really want to be in because it's not a clearly defined line. It would have been a landslide victory. The leadership knows this. Knows this. Your average person out there, they're like, "No, well, it's not viable." Blah blah blah. No, don't be a dumbass. All you got to look. It don't matter. Look, Republicans, it doesn't matter. Democrats, same thing. It doesn't matter who you put on your ticket for your own people, right? It doesn't matter. Your hardcore Democrats and your hardcore Republicans will always vote for their party. Always. You're not losing those goddamn votes. If you put someone on your ticket that's even just a little bit to the middle, you're gonna win the election because you're gonna pull the middle. You're gonna pull the moderates. You're gonna pull the libertarians. You're gonna pull the constitutionalists. That's how you goddamn win. But it's like every fucking election, they want to pick the most extreme dickhead that they got and ram it down America's throat. So we're right, bitches, and you're gonna take this shit. Stop that. How about give us a sensible candidate? But the Republicans wouldn't listen to me. They were all like, "Oh no, we can't do it. He's not viable." You just said that because they said it over and over and over again on the news. Fox News, CNN, they all fucking said it. Oh, Ron Paul's not viable. Fuck you. He is. He was very clearly viable. Anyone that had a lick of sense and really was analyzing what the fuck was going on and what Ron Paul's position on things were would have been able to tell you what I just told you. And that if Ron Paul was on the Republican ticket, there's no more of this close election bullshit. Every election is like, oh, it's so fucking close. No, it wouldn't have been close. It would have been a landslide fuck victory. End of story. But people just, so many people in both parties are so goddamn brainwashed that they just can't hear. They can't hear. That if CNN tells a Democrat that this is the person you need to vote for, these people are so programmed that's who they'll vote for. And the Republicans do the same thing. Fox News tells them what to do, and they follow orders. Not all the voters, but a lot of voters. That's the way they are. They will not listen. Age is just a number. All greedy, don't care about us. I understand why people don't believe that. I never thought that America would be like it is today when I was growing up. What a nightmare. Yeah, it's fucking bizarro world. Donald says, Mr. Lee, before you spend your money on Scientology, consider my religion of Squatchology. Worship the mighty Squatch. Polite than I am. My chessboard says you're more polite, Meredith. You will still be a geezer, Mr. Lee says. Mr. Hugh, Donald said, or Mr. Lee says, Donald, I'm not going down that Scientology path. No way, dude. You have to. You're in a relationship with Tom Cruise. Don't get involved with Scientology freaks. Take London out of me, man. He's just kidding. He's just kidding, Patty. I think the monkeypox crap is just a skin lesion for him. I think it's just bullshit, probably, or it's just something normal, or something we already had, even a resurgence of smallpox or something. I don't know. I haven't really paid any attention to it because I simply do not give a fuck. I think they've lied to us so much at this point. Send your monkeypox my way and watch me cure it. Pretty sure high dose vitamin C will knock it right the fuck out. Meredith says, if it's real. Meredith says, oh, chessboard, believe me, I can get it. I can get my follow language going about him, but Sander doesn't like bad words, so trying to behave and not offend anyone. Mark says, Tom's been trying to recruit you for a while, Mr. Lee. Talking to text words aren't coming out right. Doesn't understand this Boston accent. Yeah, with talk to text, you gotta stop and proofread your messages because you really do. Because sometimes it'll put some wacky stuff in there, and you're really better off if you just always proofread it and fix the mistakes because they will be there. Being scientists launders more their money through buying real estate, and it will sit there dormant. Hoping China would solve one of our problems. Chessboard says. Green Paul says 1 million dead people might disagree with, but what the hell? They changed the definition so 1 million people don't count, and I have caught a cold since the mask mandate ended. Cold suck. What the fuck? 1 million people, yeah, they can claim all day long that 1 million people died from C-19, and I will have to ask for actual proof that that's what they died from. They died from normal causes, and it got labeled as C-19, and there's plenty of evidence that they did this. The statistics were completely fabricated. They just labeled normal illnesses as C-19, and not only that, like I talked about before on here, the CDC website was advising the hospitals that if someone came in with symptoms that can be attributed to C-19 and they die, go ahead and write C-19 on their death certificate, even though you didn't give them a test. So they have symptoms that can be attributed to 100 other diseases, but we're going to assume it's C-19, write it on the death certificate without any confirmation from the test. And on top of that, even if they did get confirmation from the test doesn't test for C-19. It doesn't fucking test for that. Primarily because the damn thing never existed. They never proved it existed. And I'm waiting on someone to show me where they actually proved it. Now, they'll probably fabricate something because they've been challenged on this by many people. So it didn't fucking happen. In fact, it's starting to look like, of course, they're going to fiddle with the numbers, right? It's kind of hard to trust the government statistics anyway. It's starting to look like, because when the so-called pandemic started, and then, the death rates that were not above, what would be normally expected this year under normal circumstances. But then after the injection started getting administered, we started seeing an increase in death rate. Blood clotting issues and such. What we saw was the government straight up murdered hundreds of thousands of citizens. That's what we saw happen. They murdered them. Oh, this injection is going to help you. No, it's you just fucking murdered a bunch of people. That's why I did not get the injection. And you guys will know your needle will never touch my skin. Get the fuck. I will never take another vaccine of any kind. Not giving medical advice. I said the V word, unfortunately. I haven't had. I don't know when the last time I had. It's been many years. Why? Because you don't need a flu jab. You don't need a flu jab. Your immune system is supposed to deal with flu. Now, if you start to get seriously ill, yeah, go to the hospital and let them treat you and try to fix you, because you're going to be one of that small percentage of people that die every year from flu. This happens every year from flu. They labeled those normal flu deaths as C19. This was challenged by people in the beginning of this whole thing, and it's gotten swept under the rug. The media don't want to report on it, although it was on some local news. I showed that on here a long time ago. The entire goddamn thing was a scam, and it's worse than a scam. It was psychological terror. It was domestic terrorism committed by our own governments. It's a goddamn there's just so much evidence. It's so damning that every one of those fuckers need to be arrested. Everyone that contributed to this needs to be arrested immediately. If they're in the government, if they're a government official, they are a goddamn traitor and need to go directly to fuck to jail. And it needs to be life, because they've murdered hundreds of thousands of people. Talk to text, yeah, fucking talk to text. Green Paul's extra million people die, but they were probably just all, what the fuck? Man, they got you. They got you. Mr. Lee says, Donald, someone told me that as well. Never seen it going in. Lockbeard correct. Same peas in a pod. Talking about the parties. All puppets. Yeah, they're all bought and paid for. I am all for C. No elected people ever again. Let deep state rule. That makes sense. Finally, let's not do this. I'm not saying let the deep state rule. I'm just saying they need to go back and get a better candidate. And since neither of those parties will ever really do that, they'll keep trying to give us some kind of douche nozzle. At some point, a third party candidate, a real candidate, is hopefully going to be allowed to win. But we gotta force them to do it, or otherwise this is going to turn violent, and that's not going to be good for anybody. But in the end, maybe we win our freedom, but I kind of doubt it. I think we would land directly into a full-on totalitarian hell, and literally billions of people will die as a result of that. Billions. Yeah, with a B. Billions. Mr. Hughes says, I thought that was that two chessboard until China is getting water floods all over it. Where is that germ going into the sea, from the sea to the belly? Foxes. Landslide denied because no one vote for Paul. Freaking scam. Well, I mean, yeah, but no, Perot was not that good. Perot was not that good anyway. He really wasn't. Some people they overinflated him. You know what I mean? Some people talked him up too big. But there were part of my problem with that is this is just another rich guy, right? I'm sick of all the rich guys getting to run the fucking country. No more goddamn rich guys running the country. All of those guys are in the club, right? They're all in the club. If they are rich, they join the club.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
They're in the goddamn club. Ross Perot's in the goddamn club. I'm not buying it. And Donald Trump, same thing. Fuck Donald Trump. He's part of the scam. It's part of the scam. Fuggy Shima. You'll have to trap them. The Green Paul says, got to run. I got to write some postcards for the Ron Paul faction. Free mask offer, win-win. What the hell? Timmy Boy says, he split the vote. Donald, if he would have been on Republican ticket, maybe different outcome. Timmy Boy says, okay, Donald, that's about all the political talk I can handle. Some heart traps for the Fox. I don't know if he wants to trap them. Mr. Lee says, anyone tried listening to Lockbeard on high speed? You probably can't understand shit on high speed. Mark Dodman says, there were no influenza statistics during the pandemic, only C19 stats. It was also proven there were no further mortalities reported with C19 than previously with influenza. Yep. Exactly. And they use it. They use it to lock you down, take your rights. They threw people in jail. They threw people in camps. Chessboard says, Mr. Hugh, the vid reminds me of Mr. Lee La Coca when incarcerated K card. He said, if K card don't work, we have 15 more letters. Lee Iacocca. Tim Boy says, too bad you can't shoot them, Mr. Lee. Just kidding. Calm down. Rex says, the hospital gets $50,000 per patient. It's COVID-related death from the government. Yeah, they were thoroughly bribed to just play ball. And the hospitals, they'll do that. They do that. The doctor, you go to the doctor could cure you with high-dose intravenous vitamin C or liposomal vitamin C taken orally. He can cure you of all kinds of shit, right? It's real cheap. Pharmaceutical companies ain't going to get much out of it. Unless they're selling vitamin C, they're not going to get anything out of it. They want you to buy the pharmaceutical. So the doctors all get kickbacks, and they prescribe you this. This is how you fix this. And they poison you. They poison you with something with horrible side effects, and may not even necessarily, like, a lot of times it's just treating, right? It's not curing, it's treating. Well, a lot of this shit can be just straight up cured. So, yeah, the hospital's corrupt. The hospital's goddamn corrupt. I can't trust them. Maybe some people love their doctor. Oh, he's really nice, but ask him to treat you with high dose vitamin C for something. Show him that video, the 60 Minutes video. It's if you search YouTube, vitamin C miracle cure. I've showed a clip of that here before. I think the guy had swine flu, and what else did he have? I can't remember. Anyway, cured him, fixed him right up. The doctors were going to pull the fucking plug, but the family demanded they use high dose vitamin C. In the end, they were able to save their father when the hospital was going to fucking kill him. It was on 60 Minutes. Anybody can go watch it. It's on YouTube somewhere. Search vitamin C miracle cure. Timmy Boy says, I would shoot them for you if you lived there, buddy. Hugh Jackman's here. Welcome. Hugh Jackman, Tom Cruise. I know you guys got some money to donate to the Bigfoot cause. I would like to go and do an investigation, or do multiple investigations. I'll do as many as there's funding for, but there needs to be goddamn funding. I ain't got no goddamn funding. People, the few people that are sending money to anybody, they're sending it over there to Kerry Arnold so he can make 168 and a Nothing Burger documentary, and whatever. So you Hollywood guys, you need to, Hugh Jackman here. Not that Hugh, the other Hugh. Yeah. Send me some of them Hollywood bucks. Send me some of them Hollywood bucks. Chessport says, Lockbeard, why is it that they can kill whoever they want with the drones, but you know the rest? Exactly. What almost blasted your eardrums out, Mr. Lee? Clintons were, you're talking about the Carlin clip. Yeah, I guess it's loud, isn't it? Clintons were cocaine smugglers. Yeah. They were a lot of things. Ganja pesto sauce, Mr. Lee? Seriously? Mr. Hughes says I watched that. I mean that you talking about that George Carlin show? Were you in the audience? Chessport says, Rex Hand, I had a doctor tell me it started with Obama, that the insurance court now dictates treatments to the doctors. I say so myself. Russell Crowe's here too. Yeah, Russell Crowe. We need some of them Hollywood dollars to fund some investigation. Me and Donald are thinking go to Arizona and check some shit out. Try to find the Mogollon monster, like the Bigfoot Mogollon monster, and whatever else is there. I got so many haunted locations marked, and there's so many more. I got so many haunted locations marked on my map in Arizona. Let me see here. Like I got, I only got really one gold location mark. See, because gold is so many places. So let me see if I can pop this map up. This stupid. Why in the hell? Okay. Had some troubles here. Just a second. Yeah, there's my Arizona map. There it says, "Hello, Lord. I'm glad I'm not eating right now. Dirty bum. I have baby wipes if you need some before you let anyone." Oh man, how far behind am I in the damn chat? Holy shit. Dr. Midnight trip to Arizona. Donald says, Miss Lockbeard, Mr. Lee, and I are doing a documentary of our trip to Arizona. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking. Film some stuff and actually put together a real documentary of the whole damn thing. And check out Arizona. But actually, there's so much shit. There's no way it could do all this shit. Like that's why I was telling you, like I need months in Arizona um, to even begin to scratch the surface. Here, let me throw this up here. See that band right there? That is roughly the area that has had the Mogollon monster sightings. So it's not precise, but that's roughly what the area that's covered by Mogollon monster sightings. That red band through there. But if you got some forest people there, they're probably in a lot more areas than that. But for whatever reason, that's primarily where they say a lot of the sightings have been. Speed freak, yeah. Pick me up that way, Lockbeard. Y'all pick me up on the way, Lockbeard. Well, if I do this, if I go because look, I do everything alone. Now people are welcome to come and join, and maybe parts of the journey. If I do this, do your own thing or whatever you're gonna do, whatever. Um, but the main thing is funding. Like right now, I'd rather be in a cooler place, but the gas prices are so high. You know, because I was thinking maybe heading up to the mountains for the rest of the summer, but to be cool. But yeah, Timmy boy, I don't know. They have the makings of another gathering going on here. I mean, bring the guns. Yeah, Timmy boy, bring the guns. He can bring the guns. Chessport says, question: with all the underhanded shit they do, is it possible they set Trump up? I don't believe it is. I don't believe it is. I think Trump was in on the whole game. He was there to pretend like he was the savior of the Republicans. That's what he was there to do. I'm going to come in here and get some shit done. I'm an outsider. He's not an outsider. His uncle confiscated the scientific works, what was it, 80 something trunks of Nikola Tesla. The Trump family is not outsiders. There's no goddamn way. If with that having happened. You were kidding. You're kidding about what? About having you picked up and brought to Arizona to join the clusterfuck of a investigation that might take place. I know I'm not going to get in vans with strangers like we're. Well, I ain't hauling anybody like I said, I ride alone. When I go in the mountains or go out anywhere, I typically go alone. I kind of do my own thing. I'm not accustomed to doing team team activities in the woods. If I'm panning gold, I'm panning gold by myself. I always have when I've gone fishing, typically by myself, although I don't hardly do any fishing anymore. But I'm not opposed to people coming. I'm just saying I'm not, I don't want anyone relying on me for a ride. I'm not relying on anyone else for a ride. I'm bringing my house. Right, that kind of thing. So, that's just kind of how it rolls. So if Mr. Lee flies over and he jumps, if he wants to jump and get a ride from somebody up in the Northeast and come down and poke around, I got some ideas of how this. I know what I'm going to do. Everybody else can do what they want to do. they can join in what I want to do, but to check some stuff out. But I'm not sure if everyone is as prepared to do some of the things that I might do. They might not. They might not be willing to be out in the woods. Not necessarily at a campsite that's ever been used by anyone that has any kind of infrastructure whatsoever. Might be out there somewhere. That being said, be nice to have some armed backup. You know what I mean? Because there's a danger always out there with running into crazy humans. So and several days ago, I was going to a spot by a lake that I've been going to. The spot I talked about, I've been done a few improvements to this spot. And I was backing in, and this guy, he lost his shit. He's like, "You ain't crouching on me. I didn't crouch." I was like, "Dude, look, I'm not here to bother you. I'm parking in one of these parking spots. There's several parking spots here, and I'm parking in one. I'm not, you know." Ended up calming the guy down, and he chilled out, and he started talking to me about what was really bothering him, and it wasn't really me. But that's a whole nother thing. But it could have been bad because the guy was actually very emotionally distraught and about something, and if he had been somewhat, who knows, what if he had been armed, who knows, things. It's very, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how someone's going to act. Jay says, "Lockbeard, going to say one thing about our experience. We saw stuff that I can't explain. We even filmed it. I never took my eyes off of it hardly. We sent everything to each other's phones for backup." Says continued. Judy had one really clear picture. Gone now. I'm lost for words. Thanks for sharing that, Jay. Yeah, like I said, like nobody here, like hopefully, everybody's understands that they don't want to pressure you into talking about this if you don't want to. Because at the end of the day, all of us can fuck all the way off if we think that we're entitled to hear your story. But everybody wants to hear it. Obviously, that goes without saying, really. But and we hope you do tell it. But don't like the other night. Like I was like, oh no, he's gonna say some stuff, and you didn't need to tell us anything, man. You really don't. It sounds like y'all had a hell of an experience, so. So I don't know. I'm definitely interested in making some discoveries in the realm of the paranormal, and hopefully, I mean, whatever it was you guys encountered, hopefully, if some of us go out in that area, hopefully we learn more about what it is and figure it out. Donald says I have 2 months I can mess around. I need to build my mystery machine into a 4x4 beast, so I'm thinking next year. It's a really wild experience. We're rocking. Go get a ride. Meredith says, Donald, can I get a go for a ride in the Beast when it's all done and ready to roll? Yeah. Because I mentioned to him, like, because, not any vehicle can go into those areas clearly. And like, from what I've been looking at in the on Google Earth, like a lot of the roads that I started marking the roads because they're not marked. Google Earth doesn't have all these roads marked, so it looks like people are out there, 4-wheel driving it or riding quads or something like that. But there's a lot of unmarked roads in Google Earth, but I can see them with the images. And so I've been marking them out, trying to get a lay of the land, figure out what's out there, what it looks like. And it looks. I might zoom in on that in a little bit and show you guys what I've got. Donald says, Jay, we aren't only going for that, but we will look at it. But see, that's the thing. There are miles and miles and miles of roads through this area. It would take a long time to properly examine this area, because I'm thinking that some of these areas like would need to be you're going back as far as you can in the vehicle and hike into certain key points and see what's up and maybe camp in some of those locations. It could be a very long term. It could be very long term investigation. I mean, like even just to do the small area that around where Moog's camp was would take a very long time. The Mogollon Rim, the entire area is that's a lot of goddamn territory. I mean, it's wild. How much space we're talking about here. BPD 1976 is in the house. Welcome. Thanks for the kind words, man. Mr. Lisa's Jay, we all respect you, man. Yeah. Yeah. No pressure. No pressure. That's why I carry wherever I go. I'd rather have it and not need it. Oh, it's almost like Rex wants me to play this clip.
Man, Bert, you put a whole new shine on the word overkill.
When you need it and don't have it, you sing a different tune.
Yeah.
Yep. Chessboard's leaving. See you later, Chessboard. Thanks for coming. Mr. Lee says, hillbilly wilderness out there in Arizona, too. Hills have eyes? Maybe. Troy says, I am interested. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, do you think that this is something? I know I haven't really said much about. You haven't had much information, but I mean, we got Kerry Arnold over here, bringing down thousands of dollars in donations for what? For his investigations with known bullshit artists. I mean, he's got Mark Zasky up there, Pareidolia King of Florida. He had the fucking Porcupine Man. He had Porcupine Man. Chris Noel. Porcupine Man was there. It's almost like there's not a market for people going out that keep their head clear. That aren't interested in trying to. There's no particular narrative I want here, other than the truth. I want the damn truth. I want the truth. That's what I want. And whatever that truth is, I'll take it. I just need the damn evidence. And, there's only so much you can do when you don't have funding for investigating things, right? Um, in the case of a lot of us, there's probably nothing we can do. Like there's just so much that you need to make this shit happen. Donald says I will be bringing my King Quad. Also, it's 3 years old and has less than 100 miles on it. It needs a good shagging on the rim. Meredith says, Rex, yes, definitely rather have it on you than not. One never knows. Then something is going to happen and you could save lives. Father's always packing. He is a sharpshooter deputy. Yeah, I mean, I've told y'all before. I always go unarmed, other than a knife. And I don't know. I just don't know what I think about. And, one day it's probably going to come back to bite me. Like I think I'm a very big supporter of the Second Amendment, but I've never been too horribly comfortable with guns. But so if people are around that I trust that have guns, and it's definitely safer. It really is. But yeah, looks like the chat has slowed down a little bit. Donald says you got a street race lining up. Like we're about as far, like there's the road goes, like, I think another mile of like dirt road this way, and then it's this area pretty much butts up to nothing but woods back there till next town. And there's a river over there, so there's pretty much nothing back here and over here. But there's the road out front here. Sometimes people are out there playing around because they're way far from town, and the cops aren't out here and all that stuff. Jay says, if you guys wander out there, when you go past the power lines, it really turns into wilderness. I wonder if I can make that bigger. Yeah, that makes it a little bigger. I'm continuously adding to this. Like, this is all of Arizona pretty much. There's some good shit in California. Like, it's almost a shame to come as far as Arizona and not go to California. I kind of don't want to ever set foot in fucking California, though. Road turns to dirt and narrows, says Jay. Donald says, you are in okay. That's where all the big street racers are. That's about as big as. Well, you mean like zoom in? You want me to zoom? I'll zoom in. Hold on a second. I'll zoom in. Troy says it would be interesting in the area the incident happened. I feel that a pre-investigation happened first. County area, look at population, bases nearby, previous Bigfoot reports, and some trout bounties. Well, that was like why I was wanting to go to. Well, the trout and the gold was why I was wanting to go to Arizona last year, and I didn't go there. I ended up like spending the money I had that I could really put towards a trip, and went to Florida instead because it was just too fucking cold at the time, and I wanted to go. I wanted to get the fuck out of here, but so I didn't go to Arizona, but yeah, Trout's like gold. You're not guaranteed to catch the damn trout either. Patty says, still here, just watching. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Patty says, hey, what's wrong with California? Never mind. Well, there's a reason why people are fleeing that place. And Donald says, my cousin is a sheriff in California. We be all right. Now, be honest, Donald. Is he considering getting the fuck out of there? Meredith says, my father was a Green Beret and he took me shooting from a little girl. I had guns around me my whole life. And rule number one is safety first, no matter what you're doing in life. Yeah. See, Donald, he has no clue. Patty, LL. So yeah. Look, okay, everything on that map, like, let me zoom in. It's color coded, you know. So like, I don't know why this thing jerks around like that, but like so the like, you know, yellow is a gold site, like Lynx Creek right there in the center. Orange is like an archaeological site or a geological site. So like the petrified forest is well, it's not on. You can't see it here, but it's to the east from here. But you see Montezuma Well, you see Wupatki. A lot of this stuff is cliff dwelling, so it's orange. Let me go. Let me clean out all the stuff that's on there that's not mine. So that's the stuff that I've put on there. Just the stuff I've put on there. But up here by Page is where Lee's Ferry Ranger Station is marked here, and it's at the end of the 12-mile stretch where the brown trout bounty is at. And on that stretch is also some of the Anasazi petroglyphs up there. So that's a cool place to go. But of course, down here you see Bradshaw Ranch. Everybody knows that, right? Sedona, it's just outside Sedona. So let me whoops, zoom back in there. Let me take off the orange stuff and the gold stuff, and I just got a few towns marked there, but they're not really for anything. Payson, if you remember, that's where they ended up after their ordeal over there at the Mogollon Rim. I was kind of thinking there might be some issue with like where they came in at, but that's where they came in from Heber, apparently. The pink road running along there, along the rim, that's the rim road. So I was trying to figure out, I was trying to kind of get an idea where their location was by marking this stuff out. Let me catch up in chat real quick. What county, Donald, says Patty? Rex says, I lived in southwest Oklahoma around Lugert. I had a shotgun when I was 9. Sedona, that's where Moog says, Mr. Lee. No, not Lee's Ferry Ranch. Donald says, Patty, I have only talked to him a couple times. I want to say San Bernardino. Maybe he was a discovery of my family's hidden by my grandparents. Mr. Lee says, Ben, you knucklehead. David said, or Donald says, Patty, he was the son of my aunt who was sent away to have him by the Catholic nuns in Burlington, Vermont. What? Ben says, Mr. Lee loves the Rim Road for whatever reason. Does he? Does Mr. Lee love Rimmers? Get the fuck out of here. They're upsetting the dogs out there. I'm not liking all this bullshit. Fuck out of here. Let me see here. Let me zoom in. So, well, let me. How's the best to see this? Let me take out all this shit. Hold on a second. So you can kind of see the feature there. There's the rim, what it looks like, and there's the pink is the rim road. So we zoom in here. Those are just some roads I marked over there to the side. Don't really worry about them. This is where they said Moog's camp was at. So I marked that on here. Green on here is like camps, trails, stations, ranger stations, stuff like that. But I don't know why this thing's so jerky. But it was just like, it was so hard. It's so hard to, like, you can look at this with the roads marked by Google Earth, but they're not near as visible as the lines that I have marking those roads you see there. You can't see it, so you can't get a feel for what's really going on. And one thing that governs how these roads are laid out, because people kind of have to navigate around the water. So that's the drainage area that we're looking at. You can see where all this stuff, all these tributaries here come together up here. And so you can actually see there where a road goes up in there, but it don't cross. So all the roads going into that are contained in this case. Now over on the right there's some situations where they actually cross out, cross some streams and stuff. So it's hard to isolate, a section of an area that you can, actually, just map out that area. But so, whoops, that's not what I was trying to do. Hold on a second. This thing is not cooperating. All right, there we go. So that's what happens when you add the roads in there. Like I said, a lot of those roads were not marked by Google Earth anyway. And even though they wasn't near as visible as what this is. So now you get a little better idea of how that's laid out. And I don't think the group was lost in any of that area there. inside that drainage system there. I think they were outside that system based on what elements they've told about. Let me catch up in some chat. Meredith says Rex perfect agent, start children young age, sports, weapons, everything, took interest in everything except basketball. He was the town's hero. Tom Cruise saying hello to Ben, I guess. Donald says, Lockbeard, get out there. I want to put some money down on them drag races. I'd rather they just get the fuck out of here. They're upsetting the dogs. Donald says, that's probably Big Chief or Daddy Dave doing some tests on the streets. Looks wild out there, says Mr. Lee. Ben says, Tom, do you know Mr. Lee? Of course you do. You like his movies for the most part, bruh. Rubbish, Mr. Lee says. Donald says, looks like some good spots to go pan in them streams. Well, that's the problem. These aren't gold-bearing streams. This part of Arizona really doesn't got gold in it. Mr. Lee says, only joking, Tom. How do you know, Mr. Lee? Pick him up in my spaceship every night, says Tom. Jay says, Lockbeard, looking at screen from my view, it was farther to the right. Yeah, so you see that road there that it kind of goes in a big loop where that lookout tower is at. So if you guys went in and the officer took you out a different way, that loop, although all the roads aren't marked there yet, I've only marked the roads inside that drainage system there. I got showing there, which is that's what I had those markers. This is what I got labeled the Knoll Ridge, because Knoll Ridge is in there. This is the Knoll Ridge zone. So, and then I got another zone over here that I've labeled the Bear Canyon zone, and I don't know what I'll load. I don't know what I'll label that zone in between. I'm still trying to define what's a good spot to put the borders of these zones, but I'm kind of wondering if in between the red and the yellow is where you might have been, because I just don't see how you guys could have been inside the yellow zone at all. Nothing, because none of that stuff really matches up with y'all's description of what went down. As far as, like, even if you got on that loop down there on the lower left in the yellow zone there, that would have made sense, except that you're not going to pass any like serious canyon coming back out of there. And it's not very long. It's like a few miles. I think it's like 3 or 4 miles to make that loop. So, and I think you guys traveled more than that, actually. I'm not sure, but again, you don't have to talk about anything. I just, some of us are just real interested in what went down. So we're just kind of, and I already had the Arizona map, so I might as well just plug some other stuff on there. BP Ben says, Tom, do you have a secret show that Mr. Lee goes live on? The power line. Well, the power lines are to the right. What? Hold on a second. Let me take those zones out of there. So yeah, you could clearly see the power lines running through there. I've marked some roads going way out there. Like somehow you guys, so you guys went up some road through here. Again, there's a lot more roads to mark in there, and I just, you know, I just haven't marked them. There's just so much. There's so many. But so you're saying you're probably in that area to the right, but before the power lines, because the power lines come in and kind of go at an angle. So I'm wondering if you went, since you probably aren't in that drainage area on the left right there, and the power lines cross right there. It really doesn't leave a lot of options for what road you went up to. It's almost got to be that road right there, which is oh, that stupid thing is. Well, let me get rid of that. Things are going to lighten up a little bit. That I got labeled as limestone. Yeah, limestone road or road 115. So if you guys went in there and he took you out so you didn't come out on the rim road. So maybe you got up in there so far that it made sense to him to bring you out somewhere else. I don't know. Again, I'd have to get some more roads marked in here because there's some stuff that crosses over, and so I don't know. There's just more I got to mark in here to kind of get a feel for what's really happening here. But I guess one question is do you guys remember this Oaxaca lookout tower up here by any chance? Because that's a thing. Which is on Limestone Road, Road 115. Don't give him any ideas. That's good that you found in. Go on the show, Mr. Lee. You're interested in yourself. So you guys don't actually know exactly where you were at, is what it sounds. What I'm gathering here. Super interested. Lockbeard says Ben. Incident water source, huh? I'm not sure. Not sure what you mean there. Patty says, Donald, I'm just at the foothills of Sequoias in Tulare County. He said there were 3 or 4 miles. Donald says he said they were 3 or 4 miles past where they crossed the power lines. They already have the next president set up for the other candidates to win. Said Meredith, it makes me not want to waste my time voting. However, I must vote for the best person. How obvious last election was. Yeah. Jay says 115 rings a bell. Or it was that far white line on your map. We traveled a long way before we crossed the power lines. Like before or after the breakdown? I'm not sure. What you mean there? Because my understanding was you guys came in on this red road over here and turned onto the rim road, which is the pink. And so to give us an idea roughly how many miles we're talking about, I mean, that's, see how many miles we got here. To get to the power lines, that was going to be, with all the curves and stuff, that was going to be probably 17, 18, 19 miles, something like that. From when you turned on to Rim Road 300. So from where you turned on to there, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 17 or 18, 19 maybe miles to the power lines. But then you said you guys turned, you made it to the right road. You made it, like you said you actually went on to Knoll Lake Road, which is this road right here, which has some offshoots coming off of it, but it goes up here. It's got some more offshoots off of it. But you end up here at Moog's camp, and there's the lake. But you guys said you turned around and you came back to the Rim Road. And then after that, I'm not 100% clear of where you went. So it's sounding like you turned, when you came back down the Rim Road here, that you turned, it would have been a left-hand turn for you, but you would be going right on the Rim Road now from what we're looking at here. You would be going basically roughly east. So if you're talking about you guys went east and you went back past the power lines, I'm not sure. And then so you went several miles past the power lines, if I'm understanding correctly. So that would have been, probably roughly 4 miles to get to that road right there. Probably roughly 4 miles. If that's what happened, if you went past there, and then you turned up this road, and this is where shit went wrong. Which I've got that labeled Bear Canyon Lake Road. I don't know if that's what that's called. That's just what I labeled it because it goes up here to Bear Canyon. That lake right there is Bear Canyon Lake. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm tracing this out correctly, but or following. Let me go back to the chat here. You said it was that far white line on your map. We traveled a long way before we crossed the power lines. Last selection was so obvious right on camera. Oh yeah. Patty says, Jay, didn't you say that it might have been a wash way you were in before what? Jay says you would, or Ben says, Jay, would you disclose the nature of the counter? I will take no. I will take no as an answer. Yeah, they don't. They really sound like they don't want to talk about it yet. So Jay says, wait, we turned off Red Line Road and went past power lines afterwards. Yeah. But that would have been like 17, 18, 19 miles, something like that, before you got to the power lines. I'm not sure. What I'm not sure what you're saying no for. Donald says, Lockbeard, I think they turned right way back. Huh? Donald says, or left it would be if they. Jay was saying no to Ben. Gotcha. Okay, I'm not 100% following what's being said here. Donald says, or left it would be if they were on their way back. But they ended up in Payson when they drove back, so. Meredith says, Ben, I don't know. The evil ones that are hidden and are in charge of who wins and what they say goes on with our country. The real evilness people don't see what's been going on for centuries. Now Jay says yes, but I don't know. Yes to what? I don't know what the yes is referring to. Let's zoom back out, y'all. I don't know how are the lines visible enough for everybody? I guess it is. It looks like it is from here. You can't see Meredith's post. This one here. Did she say something that YouTube censored out? This is part of the reason why I kind of like putting the comments on, because there's been some situations in the past where, just it was good that the comment was here because it wasn't over there anymore. That might help. Like they if you switch to live chat, it might bring it up. I don't know why YouTube does that. Like they're trying to censor shit. Like we don't like using certain words. Whatever, YouTube. Whatever. You're on there. Yeah, so they're censoring her comment for some reason. I don't know what. I don't see anything that's really a problem there. Like she doesn't have like all caps, because sometimes I've seen all caps get the comment taken, like not show up. She doesn't have even one emoticon or whatever. I've seen where people put several of those, and it seemed to be causing it to take it off of there. Like it's ridiculous, and yet those spam bots can just waltz right in and post the same thing 5 times. Yeah. Well, I had it on screen, so YouTube can't erase that shit. Even if they take this down on YouTube, it's backed up. It's over on StreamYard, and I back it up on the cloud, and then if YouTube doesn't take it down too quick, it'll get uploaded automatically to Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. And if that don't happen, I might have to go back and do it manually. It's a big pain in the ass, but I've had to do that in some cases. Jay says, Lockbeard, I think you're on the right track. We turned left on the way back and went maybe 15 to 17 miles to the power lines, and then the road turned to dirt and really rough and gnarly. Drove probably 5 to 7 miles on dirt. I don't understand what you're saying on the way back, though. What do you mean on the way back? On the way back from where? I don't really understand. Because when you arrived, you came in on that road, that red road. It goes on here. I don't got it marked. Going past the rim road, but let me zoom in. Whoops. Having some troubles here. Let me zoom in on that. So you came from that town of Heber, and I just marked that road to where it joins up to Rim Road there. So you would have made a left there to enter on the Rim Road. And then it would have been somewhere around 18, 19 miles or something like that to the power lines. And I don't know how many more miles, because that's what I thought you guys said, like that you drove in like normal. You came on along the rim road, you passed the power lines, and you made it all the way to Knoll Lake Road, and actually did turn on Knoll Lake Road, but then thought you guys were in the wrong place and turned around and came back out. And then turned right on Rim Road. You drove past the power lines going back out, and then you turned up a road over here, and then that's where you got stuck. So I guess another question to ask here, like it couldn't have been this one, I don't think, because this one comes to a stop up here. It dead ends. There might be another road that joins up with it somewhere, but I don't think it is. That road dead ends there, where these rivers join. So it's probably not that one. So it might be this one. I got it labeled Wallace Road, 33 to 99. It goes a long way, I think. Yeah, it goes way the hell up there somewhere. But there's some branches on it too, so I don't know. But either way, if you turned up one of those roads, you would have passed the power lines again, because the power lines cross those roads. So that might eliminate those roads as the possibility. So now we're talking about you might have been over here, and there's some shit going on over here. There's like a community or something. I don't know. Something's going on over here. I think that's power lines too, isn't it? What is that? That's power lines too. We got two sets of power lines here. We certainly do. I think we do. Uh-oh. That's what it looks like. There's two sets of power lines crossing Rim Road. I wasn't even paying attention to those over there, but plot thickens. Where were they at? No, wait a minute. No, sorry, I'm messing this up. That's not Rim Road. That's the road you came in on. I jacked it up. There's just one set of power lines. So it's not that one. It's getting late, folks. Maybe it was this road. Maybe it was this one. In which case, we might be looking at something where the group came up here. I don't know. May have to take a closer look at the roads over here, though. Closer to the end of Rim Road. Because if you went up No Road originally, No Lake Road originally, and you came back out on the Rim Road and you passed the power lines, and then you turned up another road somewhere along here. Yeah, I'm still not. I don't think I'm any closer to where you're at, man, or where you guys were at. Jay Frizz, yeah, Donald Day got confusing as hell. We turned left on the way back and went maybe 15 to 17 miles to the power lines. And then the road turned to dirt and really rough and gnarly. Drove probably 5 to 7 miles on dirt. I'm not sure I'm understanding. Jay says we drove on Red Line Road to Moog's camp, but we passed a sign that said no lake, so we went back to follow that sign. Well, I probably should have done a different color. Like the Rim Road is pink there, and then the road that you turned off of to get on to Rim Road is red. I'll just go. This is confused. Like I got confused by it a minute ago because the color's too close. I'm going to change the color to something else. Change the white. I'll make it extra thick. Let's double the thickness on the Rim Road too. Why not? All right. That should be better. That should be better. See, I just didn't mark this road past that point. So that's creating confusion. It's creating some confusion. There, maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. Anyway, playing with maps. Playing with maps. It's always good, clean fun. Jay says there were 2 signs that said no lake. Troy says, is the blue line water source? Yeah, those are streams. Those are creeks and rivers and stuff like that. Yeah. And never passed the power lines on Red Line Road. You probably weren't looking for them when you were on that road. Meredith says, can you guys see my post? I don't know what post you're referring to. I see all my posts. Can't see the inevitable about the government. I can't see the inevitable about the government. What? I didn't even try. I would really doubt any of them have Street View, though. Mr. Lee says, Donald got gut point. Check Street View, Lockbeard. Meredith says, Lockbeard, where are all the wrenches? Oh, there's no wrenches on this channel. No wrenches on this channel. You might be thinking about the other one. I gave everybody wrenches at the other channel, but there's no wrenches here. I was thinking about making Mr. Lee a wrench, but I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know. Why would I do that? Should Mr. Lee be a wrench? Because I don't know. I don't know about that. He hangs out with that Tom Cruise guy. That's a red flag, Mr. Lee. Donald says, when he led them out, he went through a canyon. Yeah, that's why I asked that question on Mogs. And Mogs said he knew what I was talking about when I mentioned that. Because if they, like, I saw on the map somewhere where there's, it's called something crossing, and there's an actual, like, bridge constructed down there where they can cross the creek or the river there. I'm not sure what size. It looks like it's probably creek size for most people, but it could be called a river where they're at, because like the Arkansas River here, it's is like a quarter mile across, at least as far as where it meanders in there. But you go way upstream, and it's the size of a creek for people in those states over there. But actually, I could probably show you where that crossing is. I was thinking, but it seemed like Mogs didn't think that was the spot. Where was that at? I think it's right here. Maybe. Is it here? I'm not sure if that's it. Maybe it is. Yeah. Yeah. So see where they come down and they would cross that bridge right there. See if I can get a name on this thing. Wiggins Crossing Road. Wiggins Crossing Road. So I don't know. I don't know if that would be where they went. It's turned into quite a bit of investigating tonight on this thing, isn't it? This is somebody's ranch out here. Like that just big obvious square in the middle of all the natural landscape. And then what else is what else I see? I saw some other weird stuff out here. Like, what the hell is this? Did Tom Cruise take a shit? Who knows? Who knows? But we'll narrow this down. We'll get closer and closer, I think. Somebody will figure out exactly where it was at. I guess there's some items were left behind. Hopefully, if we can figure out where it's at, Mogs can get there. Mogs can recover it. He was talking about trying to recover those items. Let's see. Jay says, see why we got confused. If we hadn't blown that tire, we could have found our way back out, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, these roads, it's a cluster, man. There's all kinds of crazy shit going on. You know, people driving up into whatever they can and creating all these roads, and they don't have names, and they're not marked on Google Earth anyway, and a few of them are, but a lot of that shit, like, I marked all those. Google Earth didn't make these lines. Nothing you see on the screen right now, other than the actual photograph of the landscape, is from Google Earth. Like I outlined the water features and the roads, and because you just couldn't see, you couldn't get a good idea of what was going on without marking things in a better way. And I like knowing where springs and stuff are. So, like, the you see those markers that don't have names on them. Those are all springs. The dark blue ones are springs, and then the light blue ones are tanks, which is kind of like a collection pond, a place where water gathers, a pond out there, I guess. Thwart. Attacked by mosquitoes. Ben says, I think you can handle your own shit. Regarding wrenches. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, don't hardly need any wrenches around here. Mr. Lee says, Patty, it can be a pain in the butt. Yep. Yeah, maybe we won't put Mr. Lee to work. Donald says to Jay, after that, I probably would have said, screw camping. I'm going to the casino. What looks clear? For who? Gotcha, buddy. Jay says, okay, guys, old man going to bed. All right, Jay, thanks for dropping in. We'll see you later. Me and Mr. Lee and Donald and Timmy, we're gonna go out and slay the dragon. That'll be our working hypothesis, that there's a fucking dragon, and we need to go, like What do you do with dragons? You fucking slay them. BPT says, I don't watch the Carry channel. Are you on there? Am I on there? No, man. I don't go. I don't. Like, I keep track of him just kind of because he's on the TV guide, because his show does 50 criteria, even though I don't like the channel, I don't trust him. I still put him on the TV guide because it's like I said, I was going to keep it unbiased, and so that's what I'm doing. Let people make up their own mind. I mean, they can hear my opinion all day long over here, but they still get to make up their own mind. He lost 2 pair of sunglasses, says Jay. Yeah, hope maybe Mogs will find them. If we can figure out just where you were, we just need to figure out where you were. But hopefully Mogs don't go up there alone. Take somebody with him. You don't watch that no more. Rex says, which one is it, Mr. Lee, a wrench or a tool? Jay says, but I found a nice pair of Delsos. Good night, Jay. Hand wrench, you suppose. Don't you guys call it a spanner over there, Mr. Lee? You guys call it a spanner. You're on the same page. Donald says, what mapping program is this? Oh, this is just Google Earth, man. Man, you can do some cool shit with Google Earth, although I could certainly offer them some ideas for some damn improvements. But anyway, so yeah, you can make your own whole thing on there. Yeah, I kind of figured, Rex. I kind of figured it was. So yeah, that's just that tiny little. Because I don't know how much interest I had in actually seeing the rim itself, because stop moving thing. I think I accidentally moved something there. Why is this thing jerking around? Jesus Christ. So I mean because you can see the blue there in there, pretty much close to the center of that band, but that's where the Mogollon Rim is. But Mogollon Monster's been seen in all that area in red, and some of that gets over into some gold territory. So if you're trying to look for Sasquatch evidence, you could certainly go to an area that's got gold as well, and then so you're keeping an eye out while you're out there. You're being because that's part of how a lot of people run into these things, right? They're just out there, and but there is really no reason to think that Sasquatch, forest people, Bigfoot, Mogollon Monster, whatever you want to call it, is only in that red zone. That's just where one source says that the sightings pretty much show up as in that area. But and this is not an exact. I marked it, with this zone, with this red shape here, to kind of get an idea of the area that they say they see it. But it certainly isn't just limited to there, I'm sure. Mr. Lee says, Donald, get your own map going. You can compare with Lockbeard. Donald says, guess I never got this deep with Google Earth. Yeah, you can do some crazy shit. Well, I mean, fuck. You should see some of the shit I got. Like with the micronation stuff, there's all kinds of shit on good. I mean, fuck. I could probably hold on a second. Whoops, not that one. Stop moving, you yahoo. So like, it's probably gonna bog down for a second. So you can see some nations have already been claimed, marked, and named in capital city location. We like things to be very geometrical, uniform, as much as possible in the empire. So, yeah. Yep. Ben says the Mogollon Rim is awe-inspiring. You wouldn't expect it to be there. It is a forested zone in the desert. Yeah. Donald says, Mr. Lee, I can map out my experience on them parts of Buell's Gore I sent you. Highly elevated, redundant, I know. Donald says, where's the map of all the titty clubs and all the girls you loved before lock? There is no map. I never want to find any of those things, and I certainly don't want to help anyone else. All my exes need to stay in the past where they belong. Well, most of them. There might be one or two that might deserve another go. Mr. Lee says, Donald, you was 13 when you had your encounter then. You think Mr. Lee tapped out? I don't know. He's still here. He's still here. So yeah, that's the America version. Whoops. And now it's going to flip around to Australia. Most of Australia has been mapped out. The empire is growing every year since 2005. Maybe we'll send Mr. Lee to the Kingdom of Kentucky to make contact with the people there and bring them the well wishes of the emperor. Don't you think, Mr. Lee? All right, let's get out. This eats up some resources. It does. So let's go back to Arizona. Take out Take out Mogollon Monster. Take out the trails. Towns. Water features. Roads. So that's just the haunted stuff. Superstition Mountains. You know, people without heads. Lost stash of gold. What's going on? Sambino County or Canyon. I'm sorry. That's people. I guess they get the heebie-jeebies down there. They feel, or so there's reports, I guess, that there's a ghost mountain lion. A ghost mountain lion. Just lots of haunted places. I think the whole damn state is haunted. Like, this doesn't even scratch the surface. There's a lot more. Stuff that's supposed to be haunted in Arizona. I think Moog said he was actually at El Tovar recently when they went to the Grand Canyon. There's also Maricopa Point. I guess somebody fell off that bitch. Sorry for their misfortune. But now it's haunted, apparently. Now it's freaking haunted. Of course, you guys heard some shit about Bradshaw Ranch. A little bit wild out there. Some crazy shit. Lots of stuff. I mean, again, this is just a tiny sample. This whole damn state is goddamn haunted, man. The whole damn thing. Yeah, see, Mr. Lee's still here. He's here. I haven't put anything on Louisiana. I haven't planned on, like I passed through Louisiana. You know, I went to Rutherford Beach down there, but I mean, I haven't really, you know, because I haven't been thinking about really going there for anything extensive. You know, there's only so much time to think about such things, and then I didn't even go to Arizona. So hopefully we can go in the future. You know, I don't know. Like, again, if this is going to be an investigation in the Mogollon Monster and into some hauntings and stuff like that, there's gonna have to be funding. You know, there's just no way we can do anything really without funding. So, you know, if anybody's got a billionaire, eccentric billionaire uncle or something that wants to, you know, send some people out that's going to keep their head. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't get out there and just get spooked. For one, I don't view ghosts as something that's going to be able to harm me. You know, people, I find fear of ghosts to be irrational. They're really not going to be able to do anything to you. If they can do something to you, it's because you believed it enough and you kind of made it so. They're not even supposed to be here. They're like freaking Dante in the movie Clerks. I'm not even supposed to be here today. They're not supposed to be here. And what sucks is a lot of these places, it's like if we went and hooked up with Ken Wheeler and said, hey, how about we do a massive um, uh, tour? We go on tour and we go into these places and we use what about how to get rid of ghosts to um, the scientific way, and going in there and having a seance and playing with a Ouija board and asking them, hey, could you just go away, But the a lot of these places they're drumming up business because of the haunting. So unfortunately, uh, there might be a few of these haunting cases that are total bullshit, and the ones that are real are it's really an abusive situation because these people they're they're suffering. They're not supposed to be here. Something went wrong, and now they're stuck, and they don't realize fully that they're dead, and they're suffering. So it's wrong to profit from that suffering. So they wouldn't appreciate if we went around and tried to get these people to understand and move on, and the haunting would stop. But yeah, I don't got anything in Louisiana. We'll look for shithole. Croydon, London. Is Croydon, London a shithole? Ben says Southeast Louisiana only. What do you mean? Is it like a good place for Sasquatch? Mr. Lee says Superstition Mountains. I sent that where people were beheaded. Yeah. There've been a few heads lost up in that bitch. Donald says that's some crazy terrain. I can't wait to see it. Timmy Boy says I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. Donald says we have got to set up some GoFundMe's for some equipment and necessities. Yeah, I don't see any other way. Because if a person just rides in there on just the bare minimum, and you got what you got, and it's gonna just be a glorified camping trip, like some of these so-called investigations are, which is cool. Hey, you do what you gotta do. But I hate to be spinning my wheels like that myself. Like I want to actually see some proof of some things, and so on and so forth. And yeah. So going in without any money backing up the project is yeah, you might see something, but are you gonna have the tools necessary to get good footage and actual evidence? Yeah, it's gonna be really hard, and to spend the time, because time is money. If you ain't working and you're hanging out in the woods looking for a squatch, well, you know what I mean. It's kind of economics is real. Mr. Lee says, I agree. They are stuck. Yeah, they're stuck. In some cases, it may be like an echo kind of thing, but if they're actually a disembodied spirit that's there, then they are stuck because they don't realize that they have died. That's why they keep repeating the same thing over and over again. It's like a skipping record. Ben says, when my backwoods retarded ass was 17, I saw a person possessed. Holy shit, dude. Mr. Lee says, Ben, I remember you talking about that on Moke's show. No bullshit. No bullshit, it happened. You knew him well, and it wasn't him. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard for your typical, non-religious person to wrap their mind around, because when you talk about these spirits, well, it's mystical hocus pocus, right? It's hard because they're most of them are operating from mainstream science, right? Mainstream science doesn't quite cover this shit because they're too busy trying to reject anything spiritual. But the reality is if these people would hook up with someone like Ken Wheeler, it's too bad Nikola Tesla's gone. There might be a few other people they can talk to. I don't want them to fucking talk to me. They can fuck off. Um, and I'm not the best person to talk to. The best person to talk to is Ken Wheeler. He's actually wrote the book and the articles, and actually we went over this article talking about ghost here months ago. So anyway, the mainstream science guys they need to get with the program and understand that there's a real thing going on there. There are these entities. Just because it's not physical to us doesn't mean it's not a real thing, and it doesn't make it a magical thing either. It's just a thing that your science doesn't understand yet, but there is some science that does understand it. It's just that the mainstream doesn't accept that. They're so busy trying to reject the ether. Like I think there's really some ego issues here. Like these scientists today want to believe so badly that they're the bestest thing ever, when in reality we're just starting to scratch the surface of what the ancient civilization knew. The people that built tens of thousands of stone structures made of the biggest fucking rocks ever, often cut with such extreme precision. There is no way no Bronze Age people did that shit. No Stone Age people for sure, but not Bronze Age, not Iron Age. This is beyond us. Like we could not pull that shit off. They want you to believe that they used pulleys and slaves and they floated some of this shit in position. No. No. There are some facts about these structures that don't add up to that being the case. The sheer number of structures, the sheer size of the stones, all points to those people had anti-gravity technology. They had to. There's the only way they're going to pull off that kind of construction on that massive a scale with stones that fucking big, and also the precision. Like the precision of some of these stones is so great. It's almost like they had lasers to cut some of these stones so perfectly straight. So I mean, yeah. So when it comes to talking, and the ancients talked about the ether, and the ether is a real thing, and they're dancing around that. They're dancing around that. They don't want to admit the ether is real. They don't want to admit they've been butt ass wrong for so long about some of this shit, and yeah, the ether is real. Stop coming up with this crazy shit. Space time. Space, which is not a fucking thing, and time, which is not a fucking thing. And they put them together and said it's the fabric of the universe. No. No. Space is not a thing. Time is not a thing. Time is just a measure. You're measuring something with time. You're acting like it's a physical object. They're actually trying to come up with a particle in some cases. Some people think we're going to find a particle that emits time or some bullshit. No, that's not how it fucking works. Time. You really got to think of time as a dimensional thing. You know, you got 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 4 dimension. And without all of them, you can't have our existence, right? If you don't have time, if you don't have that 4th dimension to reality, nothing can happen, right? Because it takes time for shit to happen, right? Well, if shit can't happen, shit can't exist, right? Me just existing it's a thing that happens, right? It takes time for shit to happen. If there was no time, poof, there ain't no Lockbeard, there ain't none of y'all, there ain't no world. You're not gonna find a damn particle to explain that shit. Anyway, yeah, these entities are real. You know, for people that don't believe in magic stuff, it isn't magic. It's scientifically explainable. We talked about that article. You can go look into Ken Wheeler's. I point to him because he's the only person on the goddamn planet that seems to be trying like hell, has a straight up passion for trying to teach people about this shit. He's made like 6,000 goddamn videos on his YouTube channel. He's written a textbook. I think he's still editing on the 4th edition of the Missing Secrets of Magnetism. He's written a bunch of articles. He's probably he's your best source. He's your best source of information, trying to understand the true science of how the freaking universe works. You know, you gotta I love sci-fi, but they talk about this space-time shit. You know, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And you know, mainstream science is they're pulling all kinds of shit out of their ass trying to explain their observations because they just quantum foam, 0 point energy, dark matter, dark energy, all this shit because they can't admit that they are so far on the wrong path. They need to go all the way back to the drawing board and start over and try not to go back down that same dead end that they've been going with quantum physics, because it's a dead end. It's a dead end. They're misinterpreting everything. Lots of perfectly good observations, but their interpretations are way the hell off. Donald says, been thinking about that. We need to bring old school filming equipment, also PG film style. Are you thinking that they sense the electrical fields? Because I mean that's a hypothesis that's been floating around, but no one's proven that. No one, as far as I know, nobody's come up with anything that proves that, really. I mean, they can make claims and stuff all they want, but it could be as simple as they simply know what those things are now. You know, when the PG film happened, you know, that was a new thing to them. They didn't know what it was. And if the government is involved with the cover up of this issue, and if they do go out and, you know, kind of have a bit of a hypothesis that some of this shit only can be explained by the government actually has ongoing contact with these forest people tribes and informs them of shit that they need to avoid in order to stay hidden. And so, even though Sasquatch people may not have been able to truly figure out on their own exactly what a camera is, it's possible that they were just simply informed what they were, and so they know that they need to avoid them now. They may not have understood what it was originally, but but do now. And it's still a possibility that they figured it out on their own. I don't know. I mean, I've told you guys, I think they are human. I think they are Homo sapiens human. They're just a big hairy race of people. And therefore they're just as intelligent as us. And they could probably, maybe they bonked a couple people, maybe they bonked 100 different people. Lots of people have been lost in the woods. Maybe they bonked 100 different people in the head, took their cameras, fiddled with it. Maybe they got scientists for all the fuck we know. They're like, oh shit, this is what this is. This damn thing takes pictures. We need to avoid the shit out of this shit, motherfuckers. We're Sasquatch. We gotta stay hidden. And these fucking hairless ground apes over here got these damn, and they think they're so smart. They take pictures. If you motherfuckers' memory was as good as ours, you wouldn't need pictures because you just look at shit and you remember it perfectly forever. You assholes can't remember shit. That's why you need pictures. Look how stupid you are. But again, that's something. I mean, it's worth a try. Donald, I just, again, funding, need funding, because shit costs money. And Mr. Lee says, Ben, you have the hoodoo and the voodoo in Louisiana. There, you can conjure up all sorts. I bet. Ben says, I wouldn't believe that happened if I hadn't seen it. The possession. Grandparents' house was haunted. Thank you for what, Mr. Lee? For what? What'd I do? Gotta be fast, peeps, says Mr. Lee. BPD says what ghosts are. I mean, everything in the universe. I mean, Nikola Tesla. I mean, he was absolutely right. He said, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you got to think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. Everything is literally that. Everything is literally that. The ether is like the medium through which the disturbances propagate. Just like you see a wave propagating through water. Well, the ether is like a substrate for the frequency and the vibrations and the energies to be transferred through that medium, and that is what makes up everything. Everything is fields. This is it's all energy, all frequency, all vibration. That's really all it is. It's kind of simple, really. Um, so, but you're dealing with mainstream science trying to explain. They tell you all this crazy shit, and something like the double slit experiment. This is where we're at. They went in thinking, okay, we're going to prove, is it a particle or a wave? But the problem is, depending on whether or not observation is taking place, the results can be affected, and you can get the results of particle or you can get the results of wave. And so they, instead of saying, okay, something's wrong with our original hypothesis, our original idea was wrong. We assumed that this thing has to be either a particle or a wave. There might be something a little different going on here. No, they didn't do that at all. They didn't say, hey, we need to go back and redesign the experiment. And they just threw up their hands and said, well, it must be both. Well, it can't be both. That's just absolutely ridiculous. You can't have something be both a particle and a wave. That's just crazy. Donald says, well, folks, it is way past my bedtime. Thank you, Locke, Night Ben, Mr. Lee, and whoever else is still here. Yeah, I got to wrap it up, too. It's way too late. Time to sleep. Almost intentional. Good night, sleep tight, says Meredith. Donald says, not sure, Locke, but it's the last piece of equipment that has recorded something that has stood the test of time. Yeah, that's something. That's certainly, you know, you have the equipment, you just need the film. Timmy Boy says, so it's the water. Go on. What? So it's the water. What about the water? Talking about the ether? Kinda. I mean, but you know, it's like the base substrate, you know, upon which everything else. And of course, you know, it's weird because like you have instantaneous action at a distance. You know, which Einstein, you know, because Einstein, if you listen to Einstein, you know, nothing can, you know, go faster than the speed of light. Well, then you have this. He called it spooky action because he couldn't explain that shit. Why? Because his science was fucking flawed as shit, and he stole it. Like, there have been multiple books written about how he stole all his ideas. So then, Einstein was no genius. He was no genius. He was good at plagiarizing shit, and half the shit he plagiarized was so fucking wrong it was ridiculous. But yeah. I think we've arrived at a good stopping point, probably. It is after midnight here. Certainly wasn't intending on going quite this long, but usually don't. So thank you all for coming. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central, it'll be LOCKBEARD Phenomena. And of course, we practically did it tonight. We talked so much paranormal stuff, but we can certainly talk about more tomorrow night. Probably. Those two guys, they'll probably show up again tomorrow night. Mr. Lee and his boyfriend, Tom Cruise. And yeah.
Yeah, now turn around and lay an egg on the glass.
Yep.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Yep. Chat's definitely come to a screeching halt. So it's probably a good stopping point. Thank you all for coming. And I'll see you tomorrow night.